Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce CRM Analytics video session 285. So basically in today's video we will cover about the row range, and also we will go through some of the important points related to the windowing SAQL functionality or the SAQL windowing functionality. So what I will do is I will like open one of the lens which we covered. Maybe I can open something related to second method. Yeah, this one. I will go to the SAQL mode, and of course if I open this particular document which we have, row range, as they are mentioning, are specified using the following syntax. Now they have mentioned different kinds of row range. Let's go through a few of them because others are understandable more or less, right? So for example, right now, so in our case, what we did, we had something like -1 to 0, which means if you see here, we are taking the previous row and the current row. Now, if you don't give any number in the beginning and if you give 0 in the end, what does that means is from beginning to current row in the reset group. So from beginning till current row, it will be the reset group, which means it will be adding one after the other in simple terms, if I can say it. So for example, if I remove this, okay, and if I write without any number, if I write dot dot 0, you will observe that it's going to add up one after the other. So for example, 120, okay, nothing else is there, is the current row. If you take the next number, it's taking what was earlier, like 120 plus 400. Again, one, it's like taking all the above, so it's like 521. Then 35 is like 1 400 120 plus 35, it's like 556. So in a way, if you see this particular number, that is 120, if you just diagonally, it's more like one after the other, like something which you call as, I think, the some total is there, I think grand total, running total, yeah, same functionality like running total. Okay, so we already walked through that running total functionality, so it's doing the same like that running total. Fine. So at the end we will get that complete total. So whatever, like 120 plus 400 up till here 36, whatever that number comes, that is nothing but 717. We already know that. So that's the kind of way the running total is working if you just don't put any number. Okay, what if happens if you put 0 dot dot? So from current row to the last row, everything will be taken into consideration. So here, let's say I just write 0, and if I don't mention any number over here, so from current row till the last row, so for example here, now it will show as 717, okay, on the very top. Now for the second one, it's like from 400 till 36, whatever adds up, you are just going to get that number over here. Similarly, from 1 till 36, whatever comes up, it's showing up over there. And at last, as you can see, it's showing 36. So it's like 47 plus 36 is 83. That's what it's showing over here. 19 plus 47 plus 36 is like 102. So if you see, in a way, it's like I think probably it's more of a subtraction. If you see, like 717, if you do minus 120, it's no, I think somewhere I'm wrong. Yeah, I think that's the thing. So 717 minus 120 is giving you 597. 597 minus 400 is giving you 197, right? 197 minus 1 is giving you 196. 196 minus 35, it will give you 161. Okay, so in this way, it's actually continuing. So it's like whatever that complete total of that row will display over here. And if you just subtract this from here, you will get the next one. It's another way to calculate, but at the end of the day, I hope you understand, like whatever is the current row till the end, you are just going to take that addition. So for example, for close one starting from 400, so from 400 till 36, whatever numbers comes up, that's going to add it up. Okay, so that's the meaning of this. Then minus 2 dot dot 0, we already walked through minus 1 dot dot 0. So from 2 rows before the current row, it covers 3 rows. From 0 to, it's like current row to the 2 rows ahead. Okay, that is also fine. From minus 1 to minus 1 row before the current row, window includes a single row. So minus 1 to minus 1 is like one row. Yeah, it's like it will include a single row, which means like here, if I put minus 1 to 1, right? So for example, if I put minus 1 to minus 1, okay, what it will do, it will just take the previous one. So if you see over here, like here, I don't have anything related to previously. But if you see here, for 400 is just taking the previous one, that is minus 120, because I've mentioned the ranges minus 1 to minus 1, so it will only take the previous row. So okay, so similarly for 19, if you see, it's taking the previous one, 12. Okay, so for 36, it's taking 47. So that's why it's continuing. That's the thing about minus 1 to minus 1. Then if nothing to minus 2 is like from beginning of reset to 2 rows before the current row. Okay, so from beginning till 2 rows before the current row, so we can try this out as well. So I don't mention anything over here, and I just mention minus 2. So what it will do, 2 rows before that. So as you can see here, like if I don't mention anything till -2, it is saying from beginning to 2 rows before the current row. Okay, so here we have nothing, 2 rows above, 2 rows above, it's only one. Okay, but here it's taking -2 rows before that current row. So now if you take the one, so it is like 2 rows before the current row, it's like 120, right? 120, yeah. Similarly for 35, it's like 2 rows before the current row, which means 400 and 120, isn't it? So from beginning till the 2 rows before the, so see from beginning, here there is nothing, this is the beginning itself, and here beginning to 2 rows before. Now 2 rows before we don't have any value, that's why here also it's a blank. For one, it's 2 rows before is like, this is the beginning, this is the -2 as well, this is the end range, so it's 120. From here, if you start from 35, 2 rows before, so it's 400, so 400 plus 120, right? That's giving you 520. Similarly for 19, it will be like, so 2 rows before is like till 1, so 120 plus 400 plus 1, which is like 521. Okay, that's correct. So in this way it's continuing. So if you just do a bit of, like if you play around and do some trial and error in your own way, you will get to understand that. And if you don't mention anything, aggregates the entire reset group. So for example, if I don't mention anything at all, it will aggregate the, what is saying, cannot specify an order clause with a, okay, non-rank windowing functionality, non-rank. Okay, okay. I think it has something to do with rank then. Okay. So in this case, it's not applicable, but anyways, we can like walk through at a later stage. But I hope other parts are clear where we are using this range and how it's coming to show up. So that's the whole meaning. Okay. Now, one thing we can just walk through some of the important notes as well. Maybe I can take it up in the next session if I am not able to cover it over here. So for now, let me just again write it as -1 to 0. Cool. So let's do one thing. We'll do it in a new window. Now, what are the some of the important notes? Grouped queries windowing function is enabled only for grouped queries. The following is not enabled. So if you're loading something, you cannot directly go for this windowing functionality calculation. First, you have to do a group by, that is for sure. So for example, let's say we did one of the methods, right? So I can take a note of it. So for example, in this case, okay, if I do this same thing, if I don't group by anything, right, it won't be able to take into consideration that part. So here, if I go to the SAQL mode, and here I will just delete these two lines. Sorry, I've taken the wrong one. I have to take this one actually. So let's say I just mention this line, and if I run the query, it's a windowing function is only supported on group data. So that is something to keep in mind, that hey, basically whenever you are applying for this windowing functionality SAQL queries, you have to always do for grouped queries. So this one is definitely not managed, which we saw right now. Multiple lists and multiple lists and multiple orders are valid. So definitely, you can go for multiple lists and multiple order, which means like partition by, you can have more than two or three, and for order by also you can have more than two or three. That's fine. So like if I do it for one of the things, like let's say I open this particular data set, I'm going for count of rows, which is fine, and maybe here I will just take something like opportunity type, then maybe I can take lead source, and finally I can take stage name. And then I will just edit this column, click on plus, and here let's say I go for sliding window, and I go for sum. Okay, and for reset group, let's say I go for opportunity. Let me click on apply. So as of now it's going to show me one, but I can go for multiple reset group. That's not an issue. We can just check it via SAQL. So let's say I go to that SAQL mode. So right now if you see, like here we have the lead source, and it's going for, I think this one I can delete. I don't need this last order by as of now. So basically for advertisement, once it's doing the complete calculation, then again for under this opportunity of existing business, again for lead source employee referral, they are doing the again proper calculation, right? Now what we can do is like we can actually do it for different. So just a moment, here they have only done partition by type. Okay. Hmm. Okay, fine. Partition by type, but here if you see, like because they have done only partition by type, for employee referral close lost, it's taking the previous calculation. But let's say I want for each of them to get partition by as well. For example, for every lead source, I want them to get partition by, which means like for advertisement, it's showing 1 1, then we are doing the previous calculation. But if you see here for employee referral, it's doing the previous calculation, like it is 5, and it's taking the next row into consideration. I don't want that. Okay, so I can partition by type as well as lead source as well. Okay, so here if I write type, and here if I write lead source, and if I close the bracket, it's going to run. Yeah, as you can see, it ran. Now if you see right now, it's not showing 6 because for each of the lead source, it got partitioned by SL. So for employee referral, it's again going to start from beginning. Then similarly, if I go to the partner, still the opportunity is existing business. For partner, is again starting from beginning. Like here, for closer, it's showing 5. So for the next one also, like for the closer, it will show the same value. It would not take the previous value into consideration. So that's the meaning of this. That yeah, we can do multiple resets and multiple orders. And then finally they have something related to co-groups. So for co-groups, what they have mentioned is like each window function can be used only one co-group stream. So if you are using the windowing functionality, you have to understand that you can use any one of the co-group stream. You cannot use both. For example, here they have used like they have this A and B, right? They co-grouped in the with the variable C, but once they are generating the statement, they are taking into consideration this variable A as well as variable B, which will not be possible because this will throw an error. The following is not valid, which they mention. Okay, so we can also take into consideration one of the co-groups maybe. So for example, let's say I open one of the co-groups. uh, I don't know, like maybe something like this. Okay. And what I will do is like here, so this is a co-group, and I will again just replicate the same co-group. So here I will add the opportunity dashboard dataset, and I will go to the SAQL mode. So let's say I copy this complete thing, done it once again. Now what they mean is, so for example, if I take into like if I just copy one of the things which I did. So here, let's say copy this part, or not this one. Let's take a simple example which we did. Yeah, something. So let me go to the SAQL mode. So this one maybe we can check in our next video, but I hope overall you understood like what are the important things to keep in mind. So here what will happen is I can just give one of the stream reference. So for example, I can just write account dot industry, maybe this account dot industry if I want to calculate based on that, and I can order by as well with one of the field name from one of the co-groups. For example, I can take any field from account, I have to include in both. If I take anything from mob, I have to include in both the case, in the order by as well as in the beginning as well. So we can do that a bit in the next session. That's fine. But yeah, I hope here overall the picture is clear, like how to go about and check the row range, as well as what are the important notes we can keep in mind. Yeah, the last one I can just show you hands-on in the next session. So yeah, that's it about it, and thank you.